Hey, like and subscribe so you can get post notifications when I am actually live. I've cut my hair. Look at it. I look a lot better, I think. A little bit. I also shaved too. Rocking that mustache. I look like a cop. Uh, let me just hit up a couple people, let them know I'm live. Sorry about that. Alrighty, sorry. So today's stream. Take a second. Alrighty, so he was on the last stream. He is a photographer. Already, sorry about that, guys. So JT is my friend. He's a photographer. Lives in Arizona. I'm a California kid. Live in California. He is going to be. He might be jumping on. He said. He asked me if I'm still live. I told him yes. Sent him the link. So hopefully he gets on here soon. If not, today what we will be doing is showing off our fertilizer and raised bed. um, sorry about that. I thought someone texted me. It's just a game. Um, and that's another thing I'm actually trying to figure out how to do is upload video games, like video game content to my channel. So I don't want to just post weed content. I kind of want to post also some other stuff along with like just regular gardening, showing off my gardening skills. Last year I did some pumpkins, watermelons, zucchini, tomatoes, peppers. Um, I have a second yard over there. I did just tomatoes. This year we're going to be doing more. Um, so tomorrow's stream is going to be a different stream from this one. So this is my cannabis live stream. Tomorrow's stream is going to be a gardening live stream for gardening. We're not going to talk about cannabis in that one. That one is going to be for monetization, meaning ads and I'm going to try to get a little bit of cash and try to get followers mostly, subscribers and things like that from that one because that one will be able people will actually that'll get advertised to people more than um you know than this will because I can't really I don't make any money from this because it doesn't get monetized because it's cannabis and so I'm going to try to get a couple different things going, which would be one will be the gardening live stream and gardening videos, which will just be centered around gardening. And then I'm gonna try to do like some video game content, maybe vlog, I guess, maybe. I don't really go anywhere. To be honest with you, even when I'm really like balling and I got a shit ton of money, I don't really travel. Though I have been meaning to kind of go back up north again, maybe at some point, maybe next winter, I'll go up north and make a vlog, like do a couple vlogs. But Vlogs will be infrequent. That's just when I'm like doing something kind of cool. Mostly what I'll be uploading is the cannabis videos, cannabis live streams. Hopefully at some point I'll get some video game content up here. I got a lot of cool ideas, a lot of cool video games that I kind of want to play for you guys, that I think you guys would like to check out, maybe haven't seen before. And then we'll have the gardening videos, gardening live stream, cannabis videos, cannabis live streams, video game content, maybe a vlog every once in a while, and then other than that, I might make edits of some like cool trippy shit to look at, just like some kind of cool stuff like to vibe to and get into deep thought with and stuff like that. And so, hold on, I'm gonna try to move this. Actually, you know what? Let's move. This will make it a lot brighter if I just move the umbrella. There we go. Alrighty. Of course. Then the light kind of shuts off. Let's actually move this. Oops, sorry, big boy. Watch out. There it is. So, a little bit better. A little bit more light, not too shaded in. So basically, I can actually hear better with this, I think, on, maybe. I don't know. I can't tell. Let's see. Yeah, I think so. There we go. Alrighty. So now I can hear, in case anybody does try to join. Let's see what, So today, this video, we will be getting into our fertilizer for outdoor. We got a crap load of fertilizer here today. About 61 pounds of fertilizer. That's pretty cool. That's a lot of ferty. Not ferty, right? So, where did I get this? So, I'm going to try to get sponsors from some of these guys. I don't know if it will work, but I am definitely going to give them a shout out today. I got this from growgreenmaine.com. It is a grower's website where you can get grow lights, soil, hydroponic stuff, hydroponic setups, organic setups, organic stuff, pots, fabric pots, soil amendments, synthetic fertilizer, organic fertilizer, all types of stuff. And with killer deals. I mean, 61 pounds of fertilizer for under $100. It was $97 for 61 pounds of fertilizer. And we got some pretty cool stuff today that I think you guys are gonna like. Sorry, it's cold out. I got to keep my hoodie on because it's pretty cold today, and it's getting late. So it is dark and cold and windy. That's really what it is. It's the wind that's bugging me. Hopefully JT comes on because it's nice to have another person on to react to some of the stuff that I'm doing. If you guys see this and you're watching this, you are allowed to jump on here. So if you're watching this after the fact and you ever want to jump on, subscribe. I post, throw on the post notifications, and then you'll be able to know when I go live. You can hit me up in the comment section. Normally, I leave my Instagram in there. I haven't today. I might not do that today. I might in a minute. My hands are cold, so I don't really want them out. But you can hit me up on my Instagram, or you can hit me up in the comment section while I'm live, if you catch me live, and then you can jump on. I don't need to know you. This is, for fun. So, and I don't really know, I don't really have too many people watching. Like, there's nobody watching right now, but I get some people after the fact to watch. If you watch this, you are allowed to jump on. This is a live stream for everybody. And if you have something cool going on, or if you also grow weed and you want to show off your plants, you can jump on here and show off your plants. I do get people to view after the fact. I get about 19. I think at most I have 15 on one of them. The lowest I have like 4 views on some of my live streams, and these are live streams, so they're pretty long. So to get any views is pretty good. Like most people, if they see something and it has no views and it's an hour long, they're not going to click on it. They're going to keep going. But for me to get 4 views like from a 2-hour live stream, I'm not mad at it. I had like maybe 8 subscribers at the time. I got like 10 right now. So subscriber count is growing. Sorry, I'm trying to get the light. There it is. I'm trying to get the light to turn back on so it's a little bit brighter back here. Trying to get the subscriber count up. Trying to get some viewers up. I do sell cannabis legally. I have a caregiver's license. I do operate in the Ventura County area. That is where I can sell. You can catch me sometimes at farmers markets. Hopefully, I get to. There was a farmers market for caregivers in Pasadena last year. Hopefully, they do it again this year, and I get to go in there. If I do, that'd be awesome. I So I do have my caregiver's license. The things that you see me growing, the cannabis you see me growing, will be for sale at the end of the videos, or I'll be smoking it. Depending on how much I get. Normally, I'll smoke some of it and then sell the rest of it. That's how I do it. But it is all legal. I am licensed. If you go to my Instagram, you can find my license. You can then hit me up through there, and then I'm gonna try to. If I stand here, does it make me any brighter? A little bit, actually. Yeah, a lot brighter. So if you want to, you can hit me up, and then I can provide you cannabis if you're in the Ventura County area or surrounding areas. Technically, you won't be on my patients list, but we can work something else out where if you actually have your medical card and it's okay in your county for me to do it, maybe I can get you on a medical list over there. Or something like that. I am at a no worries. My fucking hands are dry as shit. So, sorry, my friend hit me up. I hit him up to see if he wanted to jump on, but he's at a fraternity rush event. So, what I was saying was, maybe I can get you on a patient's list over there, and then we can try to make sure everything's illegal before I go out and get you any cannabis. But if you are in the Ventura County area, you can hit me up, and I am available to buy cannabis from. I don't have any right now. Unfortunately, I'm in between grows. I did sell my last year's summer grow to a good friend of mine from middle school who gave me some good feedback, which is nice. Hit me up the other day for more, which is always a good sign. And so we're getting some customers in. I do have some already. I have a couple people on my patients list. So if you want to jump on it, it does grant you access to a state medical license, which means you wouldn't pay any taxes at participating dispensaries, meaning they're participating in medical cannabis. You just let them know out at the door that this is a medical card and that you're not going to be, you're not supposed to be charged. This is a state card, so the state card you're for sure not going to pay any taxes on. So that's kind of nice. Along with that, you get the grant to also allow me to grow your weed. So if you really like the content you see on here and you have some seeds and or you've always wanted to get into cannabis, but you're a little scared to, you don't want to waste your money, you can send me the stuff you have, or you can tell me certain strains that you want, and I can fuck, damn it, I'm not hungry right now. Damn, that kind of sucks. I hate when my mom makes food and then I'm not hungry because then I'm like, damn, that shit's gonna sit there and get soggy and shitty. I always tell her to wait, but I guess that really doesn't matter because I think it's just some tater tots and fucking chicken strips, which is kind of a funny thing to get mad at. I know, right? But whatever. I don't really care. I'm not really mad at her. I'm more just mad that I didn't. I forgot to tell her not to make it because I'm not really hungry right now. I kind of ate already. Had Wendy's. But whatever. Whatever's. Um, I gotta go inside really quick because I gotta go help her with something. She needs some green onion, so I'm gonna chop some green onion down. I'll take this bong rip, chop some green onion down, bring it into her, tell her to just put my food in the microwave. I'll get it in a few minutes, and then we'll get on with the live stream. I'm gonna show off all the fertilizer I got. Again, 61 pounds of organic fertilizer, son, for $97. That's a great price. Can't really beat that. I will be using Grow Green Maine again, growgreenmaine.com. They are great. They have great things, great prices in anything, to be honest with you. Soil ships, some of the soil ship for free. If you buy enough, it's $75. So you have to spend $75 to get free shipping, but it's worth it, to be honest with you. So if I were to go try to spend $75 on Amazon, I wouldn't get half. I would maybe get 4 boxes of fertilizer, which is about like 20 pounds, which is like, all right, that's pretty good. You know, that's not bad. 20 pounds of fertilizer is pretty good, right? Right. For 70, well, this is 97. So let's say for $97, I get what? Probably 5 boxes of fertilizer. So it's about 25 pounds. So I get 25 pounds of fertilizer from Amazon for the same price. But on Grow Green Maine, I spent $97 and I got 61 pounds of fertilizer. So 61 pounds compared to 25 pounds, that's a lot. That's almost a 40-pound difference. So 40 pounds makes up a lot too, especially when you're growing it organically and you're trying to go out, and especially with cannabis, they are hungry assholes. They eat up everything. They take a lot of fertilizer to grow. Alrighty, so I had to take the bong rip. I had to take a sip because the bong rip made my mouth dry as shit. So I'm gonna chop this green onion down really quick. I'm gonna take another bong rip. That wasn't strong enough. Take another bong rip. I'm gonna show off the green onion, or chop down some green onion, bring it in, show off the fertilizer, and then I'll bring you inside and show off the plants for people who, this might be their first stream tuning in. It looked weak on camera, but that was actually bigger. On my perspective, it looked bigger. It was shitty on camera, but that was actually a pretty big bong rip. Alrighty, I'll bring you inside, show you some of the plants, and then sneak a little tiny bong rip in. Cause why not? And then then we'll end the live stream after I show you the indoor plants. I actually have to turn off the lights for a bit too in there. I'll be right back. Big boy. I got. Stop it. Hey! Stop doing that. What's wrong with you? Alrighty. Who are you talking to? Alrighty, so I'm back. We'll let this dog go pee, and then we'll get on with the live stream. She had to go. My husky had to go pee, so I figured I'd let her so she doesn't pee all over the floor. That'd be no fun. That wouldn't be fun, man. Hold on, let's see if anybody hit me back. No. No. Bitch ass nigga. People came outside. Get out. No, buddy, go back out. Buddy, go. Get out. Buddy, get out. Buddy, go. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna let the dog back in, and then we'll get on with the live stream in a second. 1 second. So let's get on with the live stream. Let's get on with the video. Let's get on with the big box, the 45-pound box. See, this motherfucker's heavy. It is very heavy. Let's see what we got in here. And oh, guys, heavy bomber mobilized in Fresno. Alrighty. So it looks really cool. I'm not gonna show it off yet. I'm gonna take a bong rip right before, and then we kind of show off the bag a little. We'll show off what we got in the box a little bit. That'll be fun. Whole lot of crap. I got a bunch of shit. 16 pounds. What the fuck is that? Probably a couple 4 pounds in here. Here, I got a whole bunch of stuff from a different couple, from two different companies. I'll actually talk about them right now. One company who I'm also going to try to get a sponsor from is Organically Done. And then I'm going to try to get a sponsor from them. I'm also going to try to get a sponsor from growgreenmaine.com. Those are the two places I shout out a lot. These Organically Done are very cheap and very good. And then the other company that I have in this box is Down to Earth, something that I always use. So both are organic. All we do here is smoke on organics. Nothing but the high grade. Got a shout out to Mendo Dope. Mendo Dope. I need to pay for the subscription on here so I can do cooler stuff, like have like an intro and things like that, like a countdown before I jump on. I think it's like $5, $7, so it's not bad. And then I get more people can join. So the bong rips look skimpy. They're not though. Try to take a bigger one. I might go in the garage because there's people outside and I feel bad. But I kind of moved everything over here and it's fucking heavy and it might take like fucking 10 15 minutes to move everything. So fuck it. I'll probably just finish this video. Alrighty, so the first thing we got is a 5-pound box or bag of Dolomite Lime. Dolomite Lime has a lot of calcium and magnesium to our soil to pH it into a more alkaline state. This is just to even out our acidity that we'll be throwing into the raised bed. So this is actually, all of this is going into the raised bed. Some of this will be keeping for the indoor grow. Like some of the Dolomite Lime, some of the other stuff that we'll have will go into the indoor grow just to help it grow a little bit faster, but not very much, maybe a couple cups. So first bag we got is a 5-pound bag of Dolomite Lime. And I have 2 boxes, so just so you know, this is the first one. Alright, so we got a 4-pound bag of azomite granular. Sorry. Alright, so azomite, does it have a description? Does not. Azomite is high in calcium and sodium, and has trace minerals. It's basically volcanic rock dust or volcanic ash, something like that. And adds a ton of trace minerals. So that's overall very good for the soil. And we're still in winter. It's January 31st, so this is early, is what I'm saying. Bone meal. Alrighty, so we got bone meal. So we got a 3% nitrogen, 0% phosphorus, 25% phosphorus. It does not have calcium right on here. Organically done. Definitely be a little more presentable. Have a little more detail, but hopefully it gets the job done. Very cheap, like I said. Most of this stuff, I think this was like $6. Pretty cheap. Overall, it was like $90. Something like that. Another bag of bone meal, 5 pounds. Don't need to show that off again. Alright, so 5 pounds of flaxseed meal. This looks like a lot. Looks like fucking 7 pounds or so. 5% nitrogen, 1% phosphorus, and 1% potassium. This is not a lot nicer. This is also organically done. So this is a little bit nicer bag. Stepped the game up right as I was talking crap. Alrighty. Organically done shrimp meal. 6% nitrogen, 6% phosphorus, 11% calcium. This is going to be our nitrogen in our bed. And we'll show off how to use all this stuff as well, too. Got our Karanja cake. Karanja cake is for fungal. It's going to add nitrogen, and it's going to help with grubs. any bad nematodes in our soil. This is going to make our soil a lot healthier and happier. Yeah, this is a big bag. This is why this one was so heavy. 15 pounds of gypsum. Gypsum. Let's see if it has it. It does not. Okay, so gypsum is high in calcium and sulfur. So I think this also pHs our soil in a more acidic way. That's why we got the dolomite lime to kind of help balance out with the acidity mix that we have coming in as well too. That will show up in the next box. This box is empty, so we're done with that part. Gypsum is going to help loosen up our soil. We are growing in a mixture of Kellogg's raised bed mix, Happy Frog soil conditioner, and native soil that's been amended in 2 years. Amended and grown in for 2 years, and composted in during the winter. So what does that mean? That means basically we used to grow tomatoes, we used to grow peppers, a whole bunch of stuff like that in those beds. Now we've moved on to the cannabis growing in these beds, but each year we've amended it with some blood meal, bone meal, and then like an all-purpose like tomato vegetable fertilizer from Kellogg's, which just has a lot of calcium and it has endo and ectomycorrhizae, beneficial microbes, colony forming units, and all the other good stuff that lives in the soil and helps the plant grow. And that's honestly been good enough for about like, Jesus, I'm like 6'1", 6'2", who those plants get taller than I do. Who I mean, these things are like at least 7 feet tall. Those things are big. I play basketball too, so those things are freaking big. So hopefully, since we're amending the soil heavily this year and in a different way, and we'll go over each bag in a little bit more detail and why we got it once we open each bag. I haven't opened everything yet, so that's why I haven't done that. Hold on 1 second. Move the camera. Brother. All right, let's see if he jumps on. JT might jump on. We're on to the other box. Hopefully he jumps on. That'd be nice. I can also, like I said, he's a photographer. He was down in Arizona. Old friend of mine. Goddamn, I spilled a whole bunch of shit on my fucking headphones. Hopefully he jumps on. All right, so we're on to the next box. One sec. This box will probably be some of our down to earth and some of organically done. So we'll finish up the organically done. Oh, damn, did I not get any fucking. Oh, I guess I didn't get any humic acid. Damn, that's fucking stupid. Let's get on. Sorry guys, lost connection. Organic dried molasses. Molasses. Alright, you got this acid mix. It's going to add nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. Acid mix, same thing. Alright, now we can go over what everything is and what it does. So, acid mix is going to make our soil more acidic. We're going to use 1 box in our raised bed. 1 box is good for 100 cubic or 100 square feet of fertilizer. That's a 6x3 bed, so it's not too big, so 1 bag will be good enough. The second box will be for our flower fertilizer indoors, stuff that we have indoors right now. The dried molasses, that'll some of this will go indoors, some of this most of this will go outdoors into the raised bed. The molasses is for worms. They kind of particularly like this. It also has nitrogen. I think it has a little potassium, I'm not sure, but mostly it's just to get the bed kind of kicking. It's going to get everything kind of like alive. It's sugar, so molasses is like the extract from sugar. So when you make sugar, it's like pressed sugar somehow. I don't really know, but it's basically sugar. It's extracted sugar. It's from the extracting sugar process somehow. I don't know. No, but it's really good in organic, especially if it's organic source of sugar. It's just going to get a lot of like, everything's going to get really fucking hyper, basically. It's the best way to describe it. So everything that's in the bed is going to really like this. Bone meal. Bone meal is high in phosphorus. In veg, that's good for roots. Bone meal is also good for calcium. It's also going to get a lot of calcium into our soil. We have 2 bags of this. One's going to be for indoors for flour. That's going to get us our phosphorus. That's going to bulk everything up and get it nice and big. The acid mix is going to pH it, lean it towards acidity. It's going to give us our magnesium, our sulfur, and our potassium. So there's bone meal. Got our bag of shrimp meal. Shrimp meal is just going to give us our nitrogen. And it's also going to give us some phosphorus, and it's going to give us calcium. So the calcium, the worms really like calcium. So if you want to attract worms, and this is an organic setup, so worms are really good for your soil, really good for your roots as well too. They help loosen up the soil and making your roots go deeper. So if you want big plants, you're going to need some worms. Shrimp meal. So shrimp meal is going to be high in nitrogen, which is going to make the bed. So when you're composting, you need 2 things. You need nitrogen, which is green, and you need carbon, which is brown. So any brown material, which is like molasses, is going to help condition the soil. So that's actually how you compost. You can't actually get a correct soil. You'll have either too much nitrogen or too much carbon in, which will then either stunt your growth or your plants will get burnt and not be able to grow. So you have to have a well-balanced bed or well-balanced soil, to be honest with you. So everything that's in here gets balanced out by something else, so it doesn't get used too much. And I actually have some other stuff that's coming soon, and we'll do a video about that. That is not going to be as much as this. That'll be from Amazon though. But that'll also be some technology, like some stuff for like setup stuff that I haven't made a setup video yet. I'm going to be doing that soon. So the next thing we got is flaxseed meal, high in nitrogen at 5%, has some phosphorus at 1, and has some potassium at 1. Flaxseed meal is just going to help us grow faster. Let's see, I haven't used flaxseed meal before. Let's read up on it really quick. Oh, it doesn't have anything on it, but what I've actually gathered from it and looked online, I was going to hope it had a little bit more detail on here. Sometimes they do. Flaxseed meal is good for growth. I think it also helps with terpene production because it's a seed. Any type of seed meal helps with also enzymes and amino acids, which help the plant just produce better terpenes and grow faster in an organic setup. That's how you use those things. Big boy, buddy.
already azomite. So we kind of already talked about it. Azomite's high in calcium and sodium. We're going to use this a little bit in the indoor, along with the flaxseed and some of the shrimp, and basically everything we see here. We'll take like a couple cups of it and use it indoors, but not too much of it, because most of this we kind of we're kind of using this for the outdoor. Again, this is early, but this is how you actually start your composting process before you plant. And this is how organic fertilizers work. So synthetic fertilizers compared to organic fertilizers. Synthetic you're going to use at planting date. So you're not going to need to throw any synthetic fertilizer in your soil early on. That's just going to upset your plant, because now you're adding fertilizer on fertilizer and you might burn your plant. You don't want to do that. If you're doing it synthetically, what you would do is you would build your bed up with some nice fluffy soil. I would recommend a lot of peat moss. Happy Frog soil conditioner would be a great one, especially if you're doing it outdoors in a raised bed and still using synthetic. I would use a lot of peat moss, cocoa, and then the Happy Frog soil conditioner as like an actual soil oil that's going to break down. I would throw in some organic amendments, even if you're still planning on doing it synthetically, because that's just going to make your plant grow better. It's not going to affect your synthetic fertilizer at all. And it's just going to benefit the plant overall in taste and in smell. Your plant's going to smell and taste better. Something like, for instance, I would just go with like a simple pHer, so some acid mix, dolomite lime, and then some nitrogen, either shrimp meal or flaxseed meal, something like that. Something simple as that, and the flaxseed meal being more like an all-purpose, because that's going to give you all your NPKs, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassiums. Hopefully all that stuff gets through to you. Basically what ends up happening is after you do all that, that's going to break down in the weeks to come. That's how organics works, is that it's not relatively available right away. It takes time to break down in the soil from soil microbes and worms and different things like that break that down, and then your roots can uptake that after it's been broken down. So that's how organics works. Synthetic works different. So the reason why you wouldn't put that out early is because you would be adding too much synthetic fertilizer at that point. You would just plant, add a little synthetic fertilizer, and do a little bit of the organic work beforehand, like I was saying, and you'll have some really good stuff. I don't grow synthetically. I do have some synthetic fertilizer. I use that for the front yard mostly, and like shrubs and different things like that. I don't use it on any of the vegetables or any things that I end up growing back here. So organics are the best way, and they make your stuff taste a lot better because you're not using harsh chemicals to grow your stuff with. Dolomite lime. This is a pHer that's high in calcium and magnesium. Dolomite lime is just going to pH your soil in a more so on one scale we have acidity, the other scale we have alkaline. Dolomite lime represents alkaline. So if you had really acidic soil and you wanted to pH it and kind of make it more of a balance, you would add the dolomite lime. So since we're adding 1 bag of acid mix, we're adding 1 bag of dolomite lime so that we have an even keel pH while getting all the benefits of both, right? The acidity helps our soil with flower, helps us with bud development, helps us with adding more magnesium, more calcium, potash, phosphorus, and nitrogen, and sulfur, which is really the main thing that makes it acidic, is the sulfur. Okay. And this bag particularly also has 2.5% humic acid. Humic acid is what helps your plants uptake all of this nutrients. I don't actually have any humic acid here today. I will be probably getting some in the months to come. Again, we're in January. It's January 31st. February sometime, I'll probably get another drop of something along this size, because this isn't really too much. But we'll fertilize again in February. We'll do it again in March, and then honestly, we'll probably do it again in April. To be real with you, we won't really start planting in April as well too. Like around April 15th, sometime we'll start planting, but we don't plant everything out until really May. May is when everything's finally out into the garden area and everything's growing and established and stuff like that. So May will be the day that we actually finish with bit fertilizing and amending, and then you kind of can just let your plants grow from that point on. And that's the cool thing about fertilizing with organics, is that you don't have to constantly fertilize. With synthetics, you can't add too much at once or you'll burn your plants. That's the problem. You can only add a certain amount at a given time, and then you'll have to come back a couple weeks later, fertilize again, do it again and again. This is something that you can add before you ever even plant, and then when the day you go to plant, if you are a little nervous, you can just add a little bit more fertilizer or mulch over that, water it in heavily, and then you can kind of forget about your plants. And that's mostly how I garden nowadays. I don't try to stay in the garden too much unless I'm just hanging out. I don't nitpick. I just let things do it. Last year we had pumpkins, watermelons, sunflowers, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers. This year we're going to be doing more watermelons, more cantaloupe. Or we're going to do cantaloupes as well. We also had potatoes last year. We'll probably do that again. The grapevine will actually get grapes this year. Last year we were just vegging it out because the first year you don't get anything. In second year you actually get your grapes. So this year hopefully we get a ton of grapes. It is giant. It made it across the entire length of like the retaining wall. So that's a pretty good one, and I've already actually started fertilizing that. And at the other place that I was telling you about that I do a little gardening, which is actually my grandmother's spot. I used to live there. She used to live in another place. I lived there, and then she ended up moving back in. I moved out and came here. I had planted a whole bunch of stuff over there while I was there. So like 4 apple trees, raspberries, which I actually planted some raspberries here as well too. There's strawberries. There's tomatoes there every year. There's a boysenberry. There's 2 boysenberries actually, and then that's basically it. We're gonna do basically everything we're doing here. We're gonna do there next year because I'm actually kind of working on the lot a little bit. Not lot, but it's a fucking house. But I called it a lot. But there's a whole bunch of stuff that we had to do over there when it comes to like kind of getting it ready. Just like how here we had to fertilize, we had to kind of like mulch, we got to like cut the weeds. Well, they're not really weeds. We were growing flowers back there last year on the hill, but this year I'm going to try to grow more vegetables and then let the flowers go on to the other side where there's more shade and use the sunny side for like more gardening. And then there's also a raised bed that I do a lot of gardening in too. So we have that. Other than that, though, we should have a pretty good year when it comes to gardening, I feel like. There's not much else to. We've got a couple more bags of fertilizer that we'll go over, but other than that, take this bong rip. Why are you barking at me? What do you want? Alrighty, so oops. So yeah, up front I had planted here recently some bare root raspberries and blackberries. So I'll probably show that off. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow when we do the gardening live stream. We'll do that. Today again is the cannabis live stream. I mean, raised bed will be cannabis plants. So most of you know that because by the title of the video and thumbnail, this is a cannabis live stream. But who the fuck is invading me now? Oh, that's just Afghanistan. Alright, so Karanja cake. Kind of already went over Karanja cake, high in nitrogen. It's going to get rid of any bad nematodes, which are like grubs, anything that can hurt your roots. That's going to get rid of it before we ever even plant into it. This is really good. We also got 8 pounds. This was, I think, $6 for 8 pounds of fertilizer. So basically, if I were to try to get the equivalent of Karanja cake on Amazon, which would be neem seed meal, I actually couldn't find Karanja cake on Amazon, so I had to go to get neem seed meal, which is the same thing basically, but just a different plant. And it's almost, I think, neem seed meal. It went down a little bit. It used to be $30 a box. I think it's $23 a box. I might be wrong, but it's somewhere in that range. It's also 5 pounds, so it's about 5 pounds of fertilizer for $23 to $30. This I got for $6, and it's 8 pounds, and it's organic as well too. So, and it's just as good, and will do the exact same thing. So again, go to growgreenmaine.com. I'm gonna keeps giving them shout outs because again, I got basically, if I were to try to get this much fertilizer on Amazon, it would cost me $100. It's probably like $300 on Amazon. This cost me like $97 instead, and it was free shipping. So you might be like, oh well, did you pay shipping? No. So no shipping cost at all to you. So go to growgreenmaine.com. 15 pounds of gypsum. This was $19.15. And all right, so a 5-pound box of gypsum on Amazon from Down to Earth I think that's $23. I think the neem seed meal is $28. The gypsum is $23 for 5 pounds. Now I got 15 pounds for $19. So basically, I got the equivalent of 3 bags for the price of 1. So definitely go with growgreenmaine.com. Gypsum is high in calcium and sulfur. It will also pH your soil and a little more acidity, but that'll help our plants taste and smell better, the sulfur. And it'll help loosen up clay soil, so our native soil will get a little bit nicer. Plus, the Kellogg's raised bed is not really that good, and that's why we're doing so much amending leading up, because I don't want it to get compacted during the grow season as it goes along, and that will hurt the roots. Help. It would also make it harder for me to water and things like that. So we want to try to get it to where the soil is really nice and loose. So 15 pounds of gypsum for $19 was a heaven sent. Definitely going to loosen up our soil. And we've actually already done a little amending to that soil, and it looks a lot better than it did when it first got here. When it first got here, it honestly kind of looked like manure. I was kind of pissed. I was like, damn, bro, this was stupid, but whatever. It was cheap. It was like $10 for 3 cubic feet of soil. So I got like 4 bags. So it's like 12 cubic feet for $40. So it's just a good deal. And then I still had about 4.5 cubic feet of the Happy Frog soil conditioner. And then I had a bag of mulch. That's another like 5.5 cubic feet of mulch. And then I had, I think, like, I can't remember if I threw in a full bag of peat moss or half a bag of peat moss. But let's just say, hey, I threw in a half a bag of peat moss, which would be like 1.5 cubic feet of peat moss. So it already has been amended a little bit with that type of stuff. And then we threw in 25 pounds of alfalfa meal, and then 5 pounds of gypsum. Before we even had this gypsum, we bought a bag of gypsum on Amazon, and a bag of a 25-pound bag of alfalfa meal. That completely turned over the bed. The bed looks a lot better now than it did when I first put it in. So hopefully. This and then the next fertilizer regimen, well, honestly, all that we'll need when we buy more fertilizer in March, or I think maybe like March, April, when we buy more fertilizer here, because we'll do it again in February, we'll do it again in March, and then we'll buy some in April. So when we buy it in April, that's what we'll buy. All that stuff will be leaning more for the actual planting and the pots that we'll have out as well too. And then we'll also have like one of the times we'll actually buy fertilizer for the garden area as well too. But we'll show that off on the gardening live stream. That'll be like separate. Where's the other one? Did I already talk about the? Okay. already, so this is the last bag. We already talked about it. It's bone meal. You know, it's just gonna add calcium and a lot of phosphorus and some nitrogen to our soil. Worms are going to love that. That's gonna make our bed a lot better. They're gonna grow a lot better too. So, I think what we'll do now is we'll go indoors to the indoor grow. We'll show off that for a few minutes, and then we will end the stream basically from there. So let's head on. Alrighty, so we're gonna turn the lights back on real quick. We're sleeping. Lazy bitches are sleeping all day long. Need to start growing. So to get it clear, they are not big yet. That doesn't mean they're small. It just means they're not big yet. What the fuck is the goddamn board out there? The extension. So. Alright, so what we're going to do. So we defoliated, we just topped out, defoliated, and everything is now trained as well too. We did a little training in tucking branches, tucking leaves, and stuff like that. We'll have to retuck one of them, but I'll show you. Flip this camera, front to back, boom. So you see everything is looking really nice and healthy. So you see the mulch is already starting to break down really quick, which is nice. Defoliated the apples and bananas and then trained it by tucking the branches under the pot handles, which, as you can see, they've already started to bend back up towards the fucking light and regrow up towards the light. Right? And that just makes the plant, one, start growing again, and because it kind of freaks it out, makes it kind of, you'll get a little spurt of growth, which is nice. And then two, it just makes, one, the branch stronger and harder once you pull it back under, and two, it trains it so that it gets more light, so it gets away from the top branch, which also got topped. Just so you, sorry, well, I can't really focus it, which sucks. This is the one thing I don't like about StreamYard, is that you can't focus, but hopefully you can see it got topped. There's two little nodes in there. Here you can kind of see it there, but there's two nodes, and so that the apples and bananas got topped, they got defoliated, and then it got trained under to its little pots, and it kind of needs to get a little water. As you can see, my soil has dried back a little bit, but not too much. When I was waiting to get the fertilizer too, oh fucker, got a little fucking bug. fucking bitches. Got you. That's two. I got another one. Fucking hate those things. I'm gonna have to. We're also gonna do another video because we have a little fucking bug issue where we got these fucking gnats flying around, these little flies. I just fucking hate these things. And so the Karaji cake's gonna help with that. But you know what's also gonna help with that is I'm gonna take every single one of these pots out, spray them down with some water, and probably some like hydrogen peroxide a little bit too. To be honest with you, and then an aspirin water and hydrogen, some regular tap water, not dechlorinated, with chlorinated, so we can kill off some of these bugs. Their little fucking eggs and shit, which they plant in the soil. From what I read, they plant it in the soil and shit, and then they eat your roots. The only way to get rid of them is to try to water it with. You can water it with tap water, straight up tap water. You can add some hydrogen peroxide. You can add a little dissolvable aspirin. Will also help clean your roots and kill off any bad bacteria in your soil, along with the hydrogen peroxide and the chlorine that they use to treat the tap water with. That'll also help and not hurt your roots. And then if you use a little neem or karanja cake, whatever you can get your hands on, I have karanja cake. That's gonna help with your any bug issue that you have when it comes to like gnats or anything like that are planting little babies in your soil and stuff like that, like larvae in your soil. The Tropicana cookies also dried out a little bit too, and so she's not as big, but she also did get trained as well too. One of her lower branches got trained under, and she's also starting to poke out. She's kind of getting covered up by the apples and bananas. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of move one of my other plants, and I'm gonna kind of move her a little bit so that she's actually in the light again. So that's Tropicana cookies. I haven't topped her yet. Probably do that in a couple days once she starts to regrow and bush back out, so that she can kind of take a hopping. The apples and bananas was a lot farther along. She was a lot bushier before I defoliated her. She doesn't have any of the mulch. Most of the mulch went to the grape ape lime pop that's back there. I will show off. It went to the whips, and it went to the Poochie's papaya. Those are the three plants that didn't have mulch that got mulch. The other plants that didn't have mulch are grape soda skunk, strawberry mango haze, grape cake in the back, Tropicana cookie right here, apples and bananas, Grape Canyon Skittles, and Chilado. Oh, which is right here. She's a big one. She's a little bigger. Alright, so the Tropicana cookies are also a really good strain. The apples and bananas is smelling like rotten fruit already. Not like rotten fruit, but like composted fruit is what I would say. Because rotten fruit smells gross. This smells kind of good. But it's like old fruit. It's not fruity. I won't say it's fruity. It is old fruit though. It smells like old fruit. I guarantee, and it's gonna turn purple as shit, which is gonna be lit because everything is fucking tense about to be purple in a couple months, which is gonna be nutty. So hopefully we're gonna give it February, all of February to finish its growth off. We're gonna fertilize it. We'll probably fertilize it twice, 2 more times for veg, and then 1 more time for flower before we flip it. So we'll get 3 more fertilizers in veg. So we fertilize my bad. We fertilize in veg. When shit, what the hell was that? 1 second. A little fucking thing on here. I know, my bad. I got distracted. But we fertilize in veg for flower. And what does that mean? It means that we're fertilizing early and trying to get our plant a little more prepared for flower. So how do I do that? So I give it bone meal and I give it acid mix. Acid mix is going to give it a lot of potassium. It's also going to give it a lot of a little phosphorus at 3%. And then the acid mix also is going to give us some magnesium. It's going to give us sulfur, and is also going to give us a little calcium. That's going to help us in the stretch. It also has some nitrogen. That's also going to help us with a little stretch right before we start bulking up and flower. Right. The bone meal is high in phosphorus, and so we're basically going to give it that throughout the fertilizing. Which my last real fertilizer should be around week 4, or we'll probably hit it with a compost tea then and and then probably start flushing around week 5, to be honest with you. Even though I don't run a synthetic fertilizer schedule, I do flush still just to get out, because I'd use bone meal, which is high in phosphorus. You want to try to get that out. I also want to try to get out any nitrogen in my soil before we start, like hitting the air, before we start turning on the air conditioner or running the carbon filter a little bit more turning the lights. Well, the lights we run high at full power the entire time. But maybe we might try to get another light in here for a flower or something like that if we're lucky. We'll have to wait and see. Other than that, though, that's we'll also go over what we did to every plant, but we'll fertilize it um, on week 4. Hit it with a compost tea, then, and then if we the next time we water around week 5, week 6, we'll hit it with just straight up water, dechlorinated water. That will start helping us with the flush process, which will help these plants one get a little bit of a better terpene profile. Start smelling like it'll smell exactly what we want it to smell like by then. And then 2, it'll also help us with um, getting a little more color into our plants, because when you flush, it flushes out the nitrogen, flushes out most of the phosphorus, potassium, and the plant naturally starts to fade back, which is kind of like, one, due to deficiencies, is because we're flushing a lot of the nutrients out of the soil, but 2, also due to the fact that we kicked on the air conditioning unit. Things have gotten a lot colder now in here, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? So um the next thing we can talk about is our gelato. She has been topped. Already started to bush out because of it. She got topped right around there. Here, right here. Shot up here. Shot up there. Probably gonna top her again in another week or two. She got defoliated. So she has a ton of branches. Is here, here, one here, one back there, here that I missed. Just another one there, another one there, another one there, here, and then here. Those are all going to turn into weed. Once we flip it into flower, the tops, these little anywhere the pit there, and this top part right here that's growing is where the cannabis, like the weed that you smoke, will come from. And so the more of those that we end up getting, the more weed we'll have. So we try to get it as big as possible, obviously. That's why people like and hear and talk about the big strains that get really big the most, because that's what produces the most weed, and that's what people grow. Because nobody's in here to lose money, and the only way you can really grow really cool strains like these is if you either know what you're doing. Sorry, I'm like only showing off my hand. Either know what you're doing, or you know you just want it for yourself and you don't really care if it takes some time to get it. So I know what I'm doing, and I know how to push these plants and get them to grow a little bit faster in an organic setup than they normally might by feeding them a little bit more than most people would for like commercial setup types thing. And then stuff like that, but whatever. So, all right, my bad. I smoke weed, so I space out sometimes. We can get in the garden a little bit. So we got the rosemary. She's still happy. The bell pepper and the Anaheim are a little unhappy. The problem with that being, I think the soil got a little wet, but really also we sprayed and it was hot. that knocked some of the leaves down a little bit. But we are starting to get some flowers to pop out of the bell. The Anaheim has kind of died back, so I might end up pulling it and putting in something different, to be honest with you. Or I might just let the bell pepper kind of take over the bed, and that'll be fine too, because that'll give it a ton of root space. That'll be plenty of root space for it. It's honestly kind of a waste of space, to be honest with you, but not that much, because honestly, to be real with you, I couldn't fit a cannabis plant in this spot anyway, so I might as well just keep it here, because to be real with you, I don't really like my cannabis plants being right up, snugged up against my tent, because it gives it not enough space to really bush out, and so that ends up with humidity problems, and then you get mold problems, and then everything else sucks. So the basil has been literally whacked back because it was flowering too much, and now it's re-vegging back out, which is nice. We mulched most of it back in there, but a lot of it we ended up just using in a barbecue that I had. And I barbecued up a little tri-tip and some barbecue chicken, nothing too special, just a little something. And uh, I threw a bunch of the basil on the chicken to smoke, and dude, it came out great. It was super juicy, super fleshy, super white. I marinated perfectly. I threw a little honey on it before to use it as a binder, and that was awesome. So the basil came in great. Hey, but it will be probably getting thrown away soon. I'm just gonna let it veg out for a little bit longer while we're waiting for the next thing will show up. I'll have to step into the tent. Our pumpkin is doing pretty well. She probably honestly wants to get transplanted already. She's attracting bugs though, which is not fun. Nobody likes bugs in the garden, but we're gonna hopefully get our hands on that. I don't know. She needs to get transplanted. That's really starting to look like the issue. But she's pretty big. Plants are about the size of my hand. I'm a little bit bigger, but whatever. Oh, yeah. So what we'll end up doing is end up moving the pumpkin plant from that pot, which is a 1 gallon, into this pot, which is about a 5 gallon, maybe 6 gallon actually. I think that's about a 6 gallon from the way it looks like. Pretty big and wide, tall. Put it in there. Probably go get it some Dr. Earth potting soil, amend it a little bit with some of the soil or some of the fertilizer that we got outside, and then but we'll go in there, hit it with a little bit of that, give it some of the homemade compost we have, because that's always good. Fertilize it, give it some of the Dr. Earth's potting soil as mostly the base, plant it, and then we're going to let it grow up the pole, grow around all the way around our fucking tent. By the time it gets back here, we should be able to plant. It'll be about 3 months from now, April. So we got February, March, and April. So the next plant we got is a grape soda skunk. She's been topped perfectly. She's coming in. Big old fat fan leaves. Looks like damn shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 finger fan leaf. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold on. 8-finger fan leaf. It's pretty big. It's nice and big, you know what I'm saying? Man, my hair itches like a motherfucker. I had to go put some, I gotta wash it or put conditioner. I can never fucking tell. I washed it, it fucking itched, then I put conditioner in it, still itches. I'm like, god damn, what the fuck else do you want, buddy? I fucking hate my hair sometimes, but it's probably because I cut it. We have tucked the branches under. They're trying to push out still, help it out a little bit, but she's small. Put out a little more. Pull that out too. That'll help. Pull that one out too. Let's just pull that one out from under it. As you can see, it actually already started to kind of like try to re-push itself out. Oh, that's honestly good enough. You can see it a little bit better there. This one's a little bit bigger, so we'll kind of push that a little bit more under. But actually, we can maybe even, well, actually, just probably just leave it out. That actually helped out a lot because it actually stretched a ton. We had a ton of little push, which will help our plant get a little bit bigger, a little lankier. Here. A couple days, we'll probably defold these big leaves, helping these lower branches, which are small, dinky still, on either side. There's one here, and then there's one down here. That'll help them shoot out. Once these start to grow in and get a little more established, we'll cut these off, getting them more light, getting everything else more light. We honestly could do that. We'll actually do that now. We'll show you how. And you do want to be careful. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to pull down, because what will happen is you might pull the other bud side. What I always do is I twist. Bop. That was super easy. Now, what you can also do, once you do that, you can kind of get a little bit closer in there and clean it up so that you don't have anything left over. But that'll kind of go turn into wood, and then you can take that off in a couple days. What I like to do is I just bend it a little bit before I do that. Get it a little loosen up, and then I twist it. It'll be a little more stubborn. You can also pinch. That'll help it come off. This one being real stubborn. This one did not. A little bit healthier, which is that's good. You know, a good sign. You don't want your leaves to fall off. Really, what I could do is I could actually leave it like this, and it will regrow. Bro, this will get more light, and I'll actually do that as an experiment, and I'll show you guys in the next live stream how far this, will bounce back. What that'll end up doing is that I'll actually give a big knot right here, and that'll help it grow, bro. And this will probably be the biggest fan leaf we have. And we'll end up defoliating it later on because that'll be probably covered up by light, or we just don't really want that one. I just got to defold a little bit here too that I missed. Some of these lower bud sides that I don't want. You don't want to have those out because that's just going to keep the plant from growing in the right direction, which is up, and 2, from bushing out properly. That's improperly. It's bushing out too much, and that's going to make it actually take longer to grow because now it's trying to focus on its energy in too many places. So if you defold correctly, your plant should actually grow faster, and you'll get better yields from that. Also take this one because it's on the bottom end. So this won't die. This will come back. Hopefully, actually, can I get it off? I want to get it off. 1 second. Because I don't actually want it. It's a stubborn little... There we go. I finally got it. I actually took it off instead. We'll actually use that as mulch. That's what I use it for. I don't care. Here. Alright, so now we got the whips. She's looking really nice and happy. Super green, happy, healthy. Perfectly topped, shot up, 2 great stems. That's what's going to happen to this one right here in a couple of days. I know she looks crazy as hell now. She's like a stick, like a bunch of branches sticking out from under it. But these little branches, they'll get a lot more light, and they're going to get a lot bigger. These branches below it, which are already big, they have big fan leaves. What they'll do is they'll end up accepting most of the light, right? We can actually defold a little bit more too, because we'll take
fan leaf off so that gets more light and doesn't end up getting covered up by this branch. This branch is far enough away from these branches, along with this one too, so that this will be definitely a top. These two will be tops. One of these two will end up being a top. One of these two will end up being a top, and that'll be a top. So we'll have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 tops already, and then hopefully from defoliating and maybe another topping of a couple other branches, something like that, we'll be able to get these to bush out correctly and grow nice big buds. Good. So our next, so that's the grape soda skunk. This is our whips. It's been defoliated, and as you can see, it got a lot of mulch. We threw some of the grape soda skunk's leaves in there. Those will break down, and we need to water. Actually, this one's a little. Actually, this one's water. So this one's good. Some of the other ones need water though. We can honestly tuck some of these here under in a day or two once they get big enough, and let them grow back up. Give this a little stem rub, see what we got going on. It's like sweet, almost not noticeable is what I would describe that as. It's like doesn't smell like weed. It smells fresh, like a fucking flower. And a little minty almost. Spearmint and flower is what I would describe that as. It smells good. It smells clean. It smells like a cologne almost. That one's pretty good. Poochie's papaya. That one has a lot more of a funkier smell to it. Poochie's papaya. And we'll move this pot out of our way so we can get in here. Sorry, you guys gotta like. Actually, oh shit. Hold on. Shit. Alright, we're good. There we go. Just want to make sure I didn't break the vent. Like leaned in on it and like kind of freaked out. So we got our Poochie's papaya. A little more funky. Give this girl a little stem rub, a couple spots. This one's really sticky, but so it has a little fruit, but it's more of like a fruit funk, like fruit by the funk, is what I would describe that as. She's got topped. She's gonna get defoliated again by these leaves to give these lower branches some more light, right? And then that's about it for her. I think she needs to be watered. She's kind of dried back a little bit. She'll actually probably be okay for a couple more days. But yeah, that one's pretty good. We got another Poochie's papaya, which we just defoliated. We haven't topped yet. We're gonna probably. Oh, actually, no. Wait, did I? I did not. No. It just looks like I have 2 tops for some reason. It's just really bushy. She needs to get defoliated. As you can see, some of these leaves, like this leaf for sure, needs to get defoliated. Some of these do. So next thing we can talk about is Grape Ape Blind Pop. Got topped right here. There we go. That little mud part. I hate that thing. Super clean. Straight up and down. Cleaned out the bottoms. Nothing there. That sucker's looking pretty cool. Do a little stem rub on this one. So this Poochie's papaya, really quick to go back before we talk about the Grape Ape Blind Pop, is this one turned purple when it was a seedling, so we know this one will turn purple. This one has a great terpene profile.
This one kind of smells like what that one smells like, but a lot weaker because it probably has a purple terpene plus, or has a purple genetic, which means it'll turn purple, and it got the terpene profile that one has, but at a weaker scent. So it's doing two things for us. But this one will probably only turn a little purple. It'll still turn purple for sure, but that one's going to turn really purple. That one's going to get really dark. This one's also already turned purple. That's why it's labeled Great Ape Lime Pop Pheno number 2. Pheno number 1 actually ended up dying, unfortunately. That could have been a male. Probably was a male by the way it looked. This is definitely a female already, by the way. I can already tell by the way it's growing. It's just bushy. It looks like a girl. Where this might be a boy, to be honest with you, since it's a little big, but it also might be a girl. This is a little something different. We'll get into that in a second. So Grape Ape Lime Pop from Mean Gene. So is this. This is also for Mean Gene. This is for Mean Gene. Also for Mean Gene. Also for Mean Gene. So the Grape Soda Skunk, Whips, Poochie's Papaya, and Grape Ape Lime Pop. All for Mean Gene. Then we got a What the Fuck. What the Fuck in my garden always stands for and means it's a fuck up, unfortunately, meaning that I mislabeled it. I lost the label and didn't know what the plant was anymore. I think it's a Girl Scout cookie. I'm not sure. It smells like this, which I know is a Girl Scout cookie. It's a lot smaller. I think it got overwatered, but she's in peat moss. So that's been amended, so she kind of freaked out about that as well too. So she's a little farther back than the other Girl Scout cookie right here, which is a lot bigger and a lot happier. Has a little discoloration, but that's just because I think she also got a little overwatered in the peat moss. She actually, oh no, she's a little wet in some parts still, so we gotta let her go a little bit longer. But um, um, that's okay. Some of my clones ended up getting underwatered, so I ended up overwatering these seedlings in the back, and they've been kind of freaking out. But they're finally like that one's starting to get a lot happier. You start to see this leaf starting to really push back out. This guy's a little bit happier, so she hopefully will push up. This one is from BC Bud Depot, so this is a Girl Scout cookie. This is also a Girl Scout cookie, and I think the What the Fuck is a Girl Scout cookie, but I'm not sure. But this one right here is super sweet. It's like this sweet, kind of minty. Like it smells like a Thin Mint. Like the way like they describe Girl Scout cookie. Like this is kind of like the Thin Mint cut. And it already kind of turned purple, as you can see in the stems. It's purple because it got cold in here, and the stems turned purple. So this is going to be really purple. It's also going to give a great terpene profile. This is really cushy, I think, but it has a little sweet. I don't really remember what the fuck smells like. Let's see, because it used to smell a lot different. Actually, smells like nothing right now. Unfortunately, let's see if we get it. Actually, smells like nothing. Let's see if this one's smelling like anything right now. Actually, might because I've been freaked out. That also smelled like nothing. Whatever. We'll move on from the seedlings. So those are our seedlings. This is our one of our clones. This is a grape cake. This is also pretty good. Does have a little bit like a sweet cakey, sweet like cakiness to it. Hopefully that turns stupid purple. We got the strawberry mango haze. She was one of the clones that got underwatered. She's also pretty good smelling. With a little bit of like a mango-y, sweet mango type smell. So I get where they get the strawberry from the sweetness, and then the definitely get the mango. Yeah, she's smelling pretty good. Once she starts vegging out again, she'll be really happy. We're gonna water her for sure today. She already drank a little bit of her water. She'll like that. What else do we got? I think that's it. And that's it, guys. So, oh wait, nope, one more. We started with the gelato. I don't think we talked about the Tropicana. Oh, we did talk about Tropicana cookies. We did not talk about two more things. Actually, we got two more things. I'll show this off. This is a little sneak peek of it. Jalapeno. Happy, happy, happy jalapeno. Really starting to bush out. We super cropped her right there. As you can see, the branch is kind of like bent a little bit, so she's kind of flopped. So, but she's shot out a ton of growth in the past few days, and she's looking really green and happy. She's really liking her medium. And then we got our Great Canyon Skittles. She's really starting to bush out. Have not topped her. Did defoliate her a ton. And she also needs to get watered. So we'll do that today. And then we'll probably end the stream. So what I'll do is I'm going to flip this camera around. I'll give you an overview of the tent in a more broad sense and what it actually looks like from my view inside of the tent. This one. Really well? No. Well, that's kind of where you see. Alright, right here will probably be the best one. Gotta be careful not to break that. It's also hot. Here. Boop. What I'll do. Oh, perfect. I think I turned it off, but the vent's still opening. Boom. Perfect. Just let it leave. Alrighty. I'm gonna go get the water for the compost. I guess I'll just take you guys with me on that one. Make sure you're careful as you exit your tent not to snap branches, because I actually did that to the apples and bananas and snapped that fucker right in half and had to tape it back together. Do not want to do that to your plants. Sorry, my hair got messed up. Oh my god. Alrighty. I'm gonna get back outside. I also need to get something to fucking drink. We're gonna probably hit it with about a 3-liter compost tea to the Grape Canyon, apples and bananas, Tropicana cookies, gelato, strawberry mango haze, grape cake. Looks like it wants a little water. And then, maybe even the grape soda skunk might get a little water. Maybe, probably water that too. So I'll be back. Come back and forth. It'll be easier. Close the tent up so there's no passage, so nothing can get in. Hold on. There. What's up, whoever joined? I'm about to water. Sorry, I'm gonna close the tent up for a few minutes. I'm gonna go get the compost tea, and then I'll be back to water. I think you can go back in YouTube and you can scroll back and watch some of the other stuff I was doing. Alrighty. We're back. I should fucking spill some water. I ended up actually because I had a 2-gallon jug outside, and I was like, that'll actually probably water all my plants. And I don't have to come back and make so many trips, which would be nice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually probably fucking sucks. I need to get somewhere where I can pop you guys up. Alrighty, there we go. That looks perfect. Alrighty, so we're gonna just this is a little water, nothing too much. A little bit to the Tropicana, probably a lot more to this Gelato. She looks like she needs it. And I'm gonna probably actually water a little bit of the rosemary. She looked like she wanted it. Stupid dog. Alrighty, so that was apples and bananas. So you should get a little more on the edges. Compost tea is very simple. I just use my dry amendments and have a pump, 2 air pumps, and a water pump or air. It's called an air pump, but it's for a big boy. Stop! Sorry, my dog's barking. If you probably can hear it. It's for our I don't remember. Oh, the air pump is for mixing our nutrients around so it doesn't stay stagnant on the bottom and get anaerobic. It kind of makes it more where it's there we go. Might need a little more water for that the grape cake. That's about it. I'm probably gonna end the stream after this, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna end the stream. Alrighty. We're back. And the rest can go to the basement. Bays will be nice and happy. And so everything is now watered, guys. I'm gonna end the live stream here, close the tents up, and let everything veg back out. We'll be back tomorrow with 2 streams. I'm gonna do a garden stream in the morning. I don't have anything to do, and then I'm going to do a we'll do a fucking cannabis live stream later in the day, where I'm going to show off some new seeds that will be popping for the outdoor grow. So we'll hopefully get some more seeds here soon. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.